Good day everyone, my name is Junay Sabikasangan. My report is all about Rizal Tour of Europe with Viola 1887.
At dawn of May 11, 1887, Rizal and Viola, two brown-skinned doctors on a roaming spree, left Berlin by train. It was an ideal season for travel. Spring was in the air, and all over Europe the flowers were blooming, the meadows were turning green, and the villages were humming with activity. According to Viola, the luggage of Rizal included all the letters he had received from his family, Rizal family, and friends. Their, their destination was Dresden, one of the best cities in Germany. Rizal and Viola tarried for some time in Dresden. Their visit coincided with a regional floral exposition. Rizal, who was interested in botany, studied the numerous plant varieties of extraordinary beauty and size. They visited Dr. Adolf B. Mayer, who was overjoyed to see them. In the Museum of Art, which they also visited, Rizal was deeply impressed by a painting of Prometheus Bound. I recalled seeing a presentation of the same idea in art gallery in Paris. While strolling at the scene of floral exposition, they met Dr. Jago. Upon hearing of their plan to visit Light Merits in order to see Bloomingtreet for the first time, Dr. Jaguar advised them to wire Bloomingtreet on of their coming because the old professor was of a nervous disposition and he might suffer a shock at their sudden visit. Dresden was their next stopover after leaving Dresden. Rizal and Viola sent a wire to Bloomingtreet as per suggestion of Dr. Jago. At 1:30 p.m. of May 13, 1887, the train with Rizal and Viola on board arrived at the railroad station of Leitmeritz, Bohemia. Professor Bloomingtreet, who had received their wire, was at the station. He was carrying a pencil sketch of Rizal which the latter had previously sent him, so that he could identify his Filipino friend. He warmly received Rizal and Viola. Professor Blumentritt, the genial host, helped Rizal and Viola get a room at Hotel Cribs, after which he brought them to his house and introduced them to his wife and family. The two Filipinos tourists spent many pleasant hours at the home of their kind host. They stayed in Lightmerits from May 13 to May 17, 1887. Rizal had beautiful memories of his visit to Lightmerits. He enjoyed the warm hospitality of the Bloomingtreet family. Bloomingtreet proves to be a great tourist guide as well as hospitable host. He shown the scenic and historical spot of Lightmerits to his visitor. One afternoon invited them to a beer garden where the best beer of Bohemia was served. At a near table there was a lively discussion among the drinkers, and one of the men in the group was a burgomaster, town mayor, of said town. Lumitreat knew the burgomaster so that he approached the party and delightfully introduced him to Filipino's friend. Rizal talked in fluent German, for which reason the burgomaster and his friend were amazed. The burgomaster asked Rizal how long it took him to learn German, and Rizal replied, 11 months, sir. The burgomaster was further amazed, because few Germans could speak their own language as Rizal could. Rizal, desiring to commemorate his happy hours at Bloomingtreet home, painted a portrait of the kind professor and gave it to him. Bloomingtreet was pleased with the gift. On the last night in Lightmerits, Rizal and Viola reciprocate Blumetre's hospitality, tendered a banquet, a farewell dinner, in his honor at their hotel. On May 17 at 9:45 a.m., Rizal and Viola left Lightmerits by train. Blumentritt, his wife, and children were at railroad station to see them off, and they all shed tears in parting as the train slowly departed. After Lightmerits, Rizal and Viola visited the historic city of Prague. They carried letters of recommendation from Blumentritt to Dr. Welcome, professor of natural history in the University of Prague. The good professor and his charming wife and daughters welcomed them and showed them the city historic spot. After saying goodbye to Professor Welcome and his family, the two tourists went to Broome. According to Viola, nothing of importance happened in this city. On May 20, Rizal and Viola arrived in the beautiful city of Vienna, capital of Austria-Hungary. Vienna was truly the queen of Danube. Rizal and Viola armed with a letter of recommendation from Blumentritt. Meet Norfin Fals, one of the greatest novelists in Europe during that time. This great Austrian novelist was favorably impressed by Rizal, and years later, he spoke highly of Rizal, whose genius he so much admired. Rizal received his lost diamond step pin. It was found by maid in Hotel Cruz. It was given to Blumentritt, who in turn forwarded it to Rizal in Vienna. Rizal and Viola stayed at Hotel Metropole. They visited the city's interesting places such as churches, museum, art galleries, theaters, and public parks. They met two good friends of Blumentritt, Manser and Nordmann, Austrian scholar. On May 25, Rizal and Viola left Vienna on a river boat to see a beautiful sights of Danube River. He particularly noticed that the passengers on the riverboat were using paper napkins during the meals, which was a novelty to him. His fellow passengers, Viola commented that the paper napkins were more hygienic and economical than cloth napkins. The river voyage ended in Linz. They traveled overland to Salzburg, and from there to Munich, where they sojourned for a short time to savor the famous Munich beer, reputed to be the best in Germany. From Munich, they went to Nuremberg, one of the oldest cities of Germany. Among the sights which they saw in this city were the horrible torture machine used by the Inquisition. Rizal examined carefully this torture machine. He and Viola were impressed by the manufacture of dolls, which was the biggest industry of the city. After Munich, they visited the cathedral of this city was the largest and tallest in all Germany. Viola related that he and Rizal climbed its many hundred steps. At rainfall, they saw the waterfall, the most beautiful waterfall of Europe. From rainfall, they crossed the frontier of Schaffhausen, Switzerland. They stayed in this city from June 2 to 3, 1887. They continued their tour to Basel, Bern, and Lausanne. After sightseeing in Lausanne, Rizal and Viola left on a little boat crossing the foggy Leman Lake to Geneva. This Swiss city is one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, visited by world tourists every year. The people of Geneva were linguists speaking French, German, and Italian. Rizal conversed with them in these three languages. On June 19, 1887, Rizal treated Viola to a blowout. It was his 26th birthday. Rizal and Viola spent 15 delightful days in Geneva. On June 23, they parted ways. Viola returned to Barcelona while Rizal continued the tour to Italy. From Geneva, Rizal went to Italy. He visited Turin, Milan, Venice, and Florence. On June 27, 1887, he reached Rome, the city of the Caesar. He was thrilled by the sight and memories of the eternal city, describing the to Blumentritt the grandeur that was Rome. He wrote on June 27, 1887. On June 29, the feast day of Saint Peter and Saint Paul, Rizal visited for the first time the Vatican, the city of popes, and the capital of Christendom. He was deeply impressed by the magnificent edifices, particularly St. Peter's Church, the rare works of art, the vast St. Peter's Square, the colorful Papal's Guard, and the atmosphere of religion devotion that pervaded the Vatican. After a week, a wonderful sojourn in Rome, he prepared to return to the Philippines. He had already written to his father that he was coming home.